which did happen. Even though he was deceitful, it doesn't matter. Isaac, who was a man of God, spoke it, and therefore came true. And when Esau comes in and realizes what happens, he starts, it says he wept bitterly. He cried. He says, don't you have anything for me? Anything at all? And he's like, I'm sorry. I was tricked. And of course, imagine how Isaac must have felt. Completely betrayed himself by his own son and his wife. And he's like, I can't do anything. He goes, but isn't there anything? And what he ended up telling him was, you're going to, you're going to serve your brother. He said, you're going to live by the sword. Hold on. And it says, by faith Isaac blessed, in Hebrews, Jacob and Esau concerning things to come. And he told him in the verse, and it was in my book that I had, but if we will go back in the scripture, he says, you're going to, you will have a nation, and there will be good things that come from you. And he just gave him like a small, basically, he gave him the second choice. He gave him the second rate blessing. He didn't give him the premium one, the big one. Right. He got the leftovers. And that was really hard. What ended up happening? Jacob had to run. But of course, his mother even packed him up and was going to leave him because Esau was enraged. He was going to kill him. He was so angry. Now, twice, Esau gets taken advantage of. Twice. You would have thought that the first time around, it was his own doing. That he would now be on his guard because he had a brother who was very cunning.
Yeah,
so,
but what was he supposed to? The dad said, hey,
I'm not done.
give me venison.
I'm not done. Sorry. I understand that. But he should have been on his guard, knowing that his brother, sorry, you gotta give him space here because I'm too tall. His brother knew that he had a brother that was a manipulator and deceitful. And don't tell me he didn't know that his brother was favored by his mother. Knowing all this and the blessing was about to take place, he should have been on his guard. He should have either said, well, don't bless anybody and we're going to have a code word. He could have done so many things to prepare himself. We'll go back to the preparation. See, many things happen to us in life where like, we love to say that. We love to say, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. I don't know how this happened to me. But we never took the precautions. We never did the extra mile. We never went beyond to make sure that our little fortress around us was secure. There was an opening. He should have secured all the doors knowing that he was living with the devil. Because that's who he was living with. He didn't do it. If you had somebody in your house that was doing it and was after your things, let's say trying to do something to you wrong, you're going to take all the precautions you should to make sure that didn't happen again. Or a friend that betrays you. Are you going to go and let your guard down around your friend knowing that he's a manipulator, that he's a thief? Are you going to leave your bag open, your book bag? Oh, I don't know. I wasn't doing anything. I just turned them in to get a drink of water. Well, you're an idiot. Take the backpack with you. What do you expect? He stole from you the first time. He's a druggie. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? He did not take precautions. He did not learn from his first mistake. The first time was an outright stupidity. The second time, he just was not prepared. He was not protected. You have to protect yourself. Yes.
Okay, when that happened, the bowl of lentils, wasn't that, when
The
bowl of lentils?
Yes, the bowl.
Okay, wasn't that years later? So
yes.
Okay, so years later, but didn't Esau not know that he did that?
Of course he knew that, but it was too late. He did sell it. He agreed to it, like Carlos said. He agreed to it.
So then years later?
That's it. He agreed to it. He sold it.
Okay.
It's done. Now, years later, this is now the blessing. His father's getting old. He's blind. This is another time. But you would think that he did not forget his birthright. The other thing is, he didn't appreciate his birthright. He didn't care. He didn't appreciate it. Because if you appreciate and you say something, you're very careful with that. You guard that with your life. You guard that with everything you have because it's precious. How many of you always make sure you have your keys in your wallet all the time? If you have a wallet, you drive. What is the most important thing usually when you're driving? You drivers. Your keys and your wallet. Your license, right? Those are the important things. You guard that. You don't just leave that thrown out there or your phone in a restaurant. Oh, I'm going to the bathroom and you leave your phone. Sorry, just forget about it. Don't pick it up. It's okay. Leave later. You leave the phone, thank you. You leave the phone laying on the restaurant and you go walk, let's say you're eating alone. And you go walk to the bathroom, you leave the phone there on the table. Really? How long do you think that's gonna last? Your sunglasses, especially if they're brands, they're not gonna be there 5 minutes when you come back. They're not. Not in Miami. You lock your doors. We don't leave our houses locked. I don't care that North Carolina doesn't do it. You can't do it here. You can't leave your doors unlocked, right? Okay, because you take care of your things. Same is with the things of God. If you think that you have to be careful with your wallet, your purse, your phone, what you prize the most, oh, you better believe it. You better be very, very protective of your soul. You can leave your soul exposed many, many ways. Name one, Ricardita. How do you expose your soul? I'm giving you time, Jamel.
Opening a door that you can't close on your own strength, like opening a relationship.
Very good. Starting a relationship that your mind is flashing the signs, and no, it's not technically sin. You see, this is where young people make a mistake. This is not technically sin. This is not the walking so close to the edge, walking so close to the edge. One day you're gonna trip and fall over the edge. Why would somebody walk on a mountainside looking at the view and walk at the edge of the mountain? I don't get it. When you could see everything anyway from where you're standing, why do you have to walk to the edge? Why? Why? Or in a building. You're in the Empire State Building and you're viewing. They don't let you do that because there's banisters. But would you walk to the edge and climb over the railing? Let me see how it feels. How ridiculous is that? People do that with their spiritual lives. Let me see how close I can get to the world and not be part of the world. You know what? If you're doing that, you're already part of the world. Because your heart is not all in it. You have to protect your birthright. You have to protect that has been given to you. It is a precious gift. Young ladies that are still virgins in here, protect your gift. It is not something to be taken lightly. And young men that are virgins in here, same goes for you. You thought I was only going to talk to the ladies. Same goes for you. Protect your gift. You give it up, it's never yours again. You can't take it back. You can't. The only thing that can clean that away is the blood of Jesus. But you still gave up something that you never got back. Do you understand? It's very important. Protect your heart. Put borders. Put fences around your heart. Be careful with this. Listen. This is your worst enemy right here. You need to protect this. When you speak, be careful who you speak to and what you talk about. Be careful opening up your heart and speaking what's in your heart. Exposing your feelings so easily. Be very careful. I don't care if it's another saint of God. Be careful. Watch. Because when you speak those words out, you can never, it's like feathers. You can't go collecting the feathers. Where are you going to go in the wind to find those? When you say something, when you put something on Instagram, when you put something on Facebook, you cannot take that back. I don't care if you erased it. Somebody else didn't erase it. That just happened not too long ago to another young person. Put some pictures up that was a long time ago, and guess what? It's out there still. And that person has to explain it every time. It was a long time ago. It wasn't when I wasn't right with God. See? See what happens? You have to guard yourself. Protect yourself. Border that mouth. Put a fence on the mouth. If you have nothing to say good, don't say it. And if you do have something good to say, still shut your mouth. Because it's not nobody's business what goes on in your life. You shouldn't be discussing that. Oh, because I like so-and-so and he told me this. Shut your mouth. Learn to shut your mouth. You will open up doors, like Jamal says, that you cannot close again. Then you get caught up in a relationship and you can't back out because you feel, like we say in Spanish, comprometido. You feel, no, that doesn't work in English. You feel tangled up, you feel like committed, and you can't let that go. It's important that you guard yourself. Don't give up your birthright. Don't give up the blessing. Esau made the mistake twice. I feel kind of sorry for him, but yet I don't. He's a fool. Because he didn't learn from his first mistake. Another problem with today's society. And young people especially. All young people, my generation did it. I did it. You don't learn from your mistakes. What's more, you don't learn from other people's mistakes. No, you don't. Because I've seen some of you repeat them. And you see that it ended up putting them in a casket, or you see that it ended up putting them in a bad position, but you still have to do it. Oh, it's not going to happen to me. You have to. Remember, the devil is a formidable adversary. You're messing with the big guns. You're not messing with a wimpy little devil with little horns. You're messing with somebody that's way stronger than you are. But if you have God in you, you have nothing to worry about. You're powerful, but don't expose yourself. You know, like when they're doing army or strategies, they say, oh, we have a vulnerable point here. We gotta strengthen this part here. Or, you know, if you ever played the game Risk, which is a cool game. Oh yes, I know, it's not a video game, it's a board game. If you ever play Risk, It's a game, right? We know you have to strengthen certain borders, or they can get in there and take your territory. Well, the same as with your spiritual life. Strengthen your border. You're dismissed.